Today we're doing a video that flies in the face of every single thing you ever learned about shaken cocktails. My name is Leandro Demon Riva and this is The Educated Barfly. I got subtle hostage vibes from the plug at the end of the video. Trade is a coffee subscription service that pairs you up with your favorite coffee. All you gotta do is fill out a questionnaire and they will match you up with your favorite coffee. They are so confident that they will match you up with your coffee that if they do not match you up right the first time, they will put you in touch with a coffee expert and they will work to make sure you get your favorite coffee. And part of the questionnaire actually asks what type of coffee maker you use so they can get the grind perfect for you. Trade delivers you coffee from 60 of the best roasters in the country. These are small businesses that pay their farmers a fair wage and use sustainable practices so you can feel good about drinking your coffee. Right now, Trade is offering $30 off your first order when you go to drinktrade.com/barfly or click the link below. That's more than 40 cups of coffee for free. So get started today by taking the quiz at drinktrade.com/barfly and let Trade find the best coffee for you. That's drinktrade.com/barfly for $30 off. Now, back to our programming. Okay. Nobody should stop shaking their citrus. That was a little bit of a clickbait title. The fact of the matter is that in cocktailing, there are really no hard and fast rules. There are only suggestions. And once you learn the rules, you can break the rules. What we are talking about today, though, are 3 cocktails that we use with juice and sugar in them that are stirred. You've been told on this channel and by pretty much everybody on the internet and any bartender that you've ever met and all of those people who trained them that every single time you have citrus and sugar in a cocktail, it should be shaken. And while that's true, if you want your cocktail to hit a little different and you want it to come across more booze forward, but you still want the benefits of what sugar and citrus are gonna give it, you actually can stir your citrus cocktails. We're gonna be doing 3 such stirred citrus cocktails. They're all worth a mix. The first cocktail we're doing is called a Hot Lips and it's from New York City bartender Jessica Gonzalez. So we're gonna take our Issy Whipper. First things first, we're gonna take 400 grams of simple syrup and put it into an Issy Whipper, like so. We're gonna take a vanilla bean and a half. This is a very long vanilla bean. We're gonna split the vanilla bean down the middle and expose the seeds. Toss it in there. Make sure everything is sealed up nice and tight. And we're going to add NO2 crackers. Give it a nice shake in between. We're going to do 2 of them. And shake it. Okay, now we're going to take the gas out. You want to make sure that you point this into something. Push it halfway down to release the gas. Okay, so now if you look in here, it's all bubbling. And you can hear it bubbling. So you gotta wait for it to stop bubbling. And then we're gonna line this with a nut milk bag. Even a coffee filter would do really well for this. Once it stops crackling, we're just gonna pour this in here like so. It's infused with nitrogen. Ooh, that's super vanilla-y. Okay, we're gonna set this aside, and I guess we could just pour in our jigger from there. Maybe let it set a little bit. Need to cut a piece of ice anyway, so. Half an ounce of lemon juice, half an ounce of pineapple juice, half an ounce of vanilla syrup, half an ounce of sugar cane syrup, and the recipe called for this particular brand, and you can find it on Amazon, so there's a link below for you. 3/4 of an ounce of jalapeno infused tequila. I just took 1.5 jalapenos, medium sized. I took out the seeds and maybe left a little bit in there, but if you put a lot of seeds in there, it's gonna be very spicy. So it's really up to you and how spicy you want it. Diced it up and threw it into the tequila and I let it steep and started tasting it after it steeped for about 5 minutes because you don't want it to be, super spicy. But then, the longer you let it go, the spicier it's gonna be. What I was really after is that really green jalapeno flavor with a little bit of heat, but not too much. And then we're gonna do 3/4 of an ounce of mezcal. You need espadín. And just smash that everywhere. I'll throw the big one on top. Give it a stir. All right, I'm gonna let this sit aside for a second here. And we're gonna take a little sea salt, some fleur de sel, put it on a plate. And then we're just gonna roll it in salt, add in our ice here, like so. And then we're just gonna strain it like so. Here we go, let's taste it. Yeah, oh yeah. jalapeno kind of pineapple margarita. So what's really nice about this is you get all the benefits of a shaken cocktail, but it doesn't have that same sort of thickness to it, and it doesn't have any of the aeration. It hits you like a stirred cocktail, a little bit more booze forward. You get that mezcal and that smoky, citrusy kind of flavor, and then you get all of that nice jalapeno flavor. It's a very good cocktail. Go and give it a mix. There it is, the Hot Lips. So the next cocktail up is called a Bitter Giuseppe, which was created by a Chicago area bartender named Stephen Cole for the Violet Hour, which was a highlight to the trip that we took in Chicago. To be honest, when I walked into the Violet Hour to begin with, I didn't quite know what to think. I cannot sing the praises of that bar enough. So, good on you if you guys are in Chicago or near Chicago or plan to go to Chicago at some point in time. Hit up the Violet Hour. You will not be disappointed. This cocktail we're going to be making straight into the glass. It's a pretty simple drink. So usually I would use Fegan's when orange bitters is called, but for this particular drink, it calls specifically for Regan's bitters and 2 dashes, so we're going to do that. So first thing we're going to do is just 2 dashes right into the bottom of the glass, like so. 3/4 of an ounce of Carpano Antica vermouth. 2 ounces of Cynar. Where does citrus play into this? What we're going to do is take this lemon, we're going to cut a peel, but we're going to take some of the lemon meat with us as well. And what we're going to do is extract the oils, but then also about 15 drops of lemon juice. And then we're just going to add in our big rock of ice like so. And then we're just going to stick our big old lemon peel in there. Give the old. You get a lot of the raisiny-ness of the vermouth. It's just amazing. And then you get this nice bright pop of lemon, but it's not so much that you're really feeling the lemon. It's almost as if you've taken the zest of the lemon and then amplified it, like lemon zest on crack kind of. The bitterness is really long on your palate and you really feel it afterwards, but to begin with, you get all of that raisin, you get all of that nice citrus oil and a little bit of that citrus. It's just great. It's amazing. It's wonderful. I love this drink. It is, and for a drink that is 2 ounces of Amaro, it is very approachable for someone who doesn't really know what they're getting into. Now, I think that resulting bitterness on the back palate is going to be challenging for some, but it's not super amplified like Malort would be or anything. It's really subdued, and I think that this is a really nice gateway Amaro cocktail. There it is, the Bitter Giuseppe. All right, so the next cocktail we're doing is called a Bitter Italian. It was created by yours truly just a few years ago. We made a video on it a while ago, making another video again. And the reason why is because, truth be told, this video was inspired by a Punch article about stirring citrus cocktails. And when I find those articles, they usually come with 3 or 4 different recipes, but I like to find other recipes. And then I realized something pretty amazing. So even though the Bitter Italian is a cocktail that I usually shake, even though it doesn't have any sugar in it, I like to get that aeration of the lemon, it is a perfect candidate for this stirred citrus cocktails video. But then I realized something else about it that was absolutely not planned and pretty awesome. And that is that when I created the Bitter Italian, I created it because a customer came into Kohl's one night and said, I was in this bar in Chicago called the Violet Hour, and I got this drink that was just made up only of Amaro. It was served on a rock, in a glass, and it was like, well, do you know what was in it? I don't know what was in it. All I know is that it was made up totally of Amaro. So obviously, I couldn't make that drink, but that request inspired me to create this cocktail. When I planned this video, I put it in the runner-up, not realizing until today when I was gonna shoot it, that the cocktail that inspired this cocktail was the Bitter Giuseppe from Stephen Cole that we just mixed. So it's like fate. I don't know, whatever happened, whether it was serendipity or whether it was fate, the forces of the world collided to put these 2 cocktails together in one video. I don't know if that really has implications other than just being kind of cool, but does it have to have implications other than just being kind of cool? I don't think so. All right, so mixing glass. I'm actually very excited to taste this. I usually shake it, like I said so many times in this video already. First things first, 1/2 ounce of lemon juice, 1/2 ounce of the maraschino liqueur, 3/4 of an ounce of Aperol, 1 1/4 ounce of Amaro CioCiaro. Make this look pretty. Wow, I almost like this more. Ooh, my God, I think the bitter Italian needs to be changed to a stirred citrus cocktail. Ooh, yeah, oh my God, that is vibrant. The thing about shaking and stirring is all about dilution and the way that you combine ingredients. And when you shake a cocktail, you want to add extra dilution. You want to get something very cold, very fast, and you want to add an almost uncontrolled amount of dilution. I mean, there is a way to sort of control it, how much dilution you put in there, but what you're doing is really shocking it with a good bit of water. You know, the thought behind that is that citrus and simple syrup and honey and agave and things like that are different densities. And so it's a lot easier when you shake something to combine those ingredients. When you're doing a stirred cocktail, what you're doing is combining those ingredients and the dilution is much more controlled. Less water. When you have all booze, you want to make sure not to have too much water in there or it's going to feel thin and watered down. So it's a texture thing and it's also an issue on how you combine ingredients. With this particular cocktail though, I don't think it needs that extra added dilution. Yesterday I was on another YouTube channel called 5 Drinks or Midnight. It was an interview thing and I made this particular cocktail and I made it shaken and it was fantastic. But now that I've made it stirred, the flavors are so much more vibrant. You have the dilution in there that you need and it's chilled in the way that it should be, but you don't have as much water. It's allowing those flavors to shine through a lot more. It's a lot more intense flavored. And so I think this cocktail has to change to a stirred cocktail. That's my whole spiel. By 3 amazingly talented bartenders, one of them including myself.
I'll do that again because that was like...
Oh, I hit the mic. Do you want me to pull my mic out? You hear that? 3/4 of an ounce of jalapeno infused
A scotch?
A skosh.